In this tutorial, we'll be taking a look at PubMed, one of the primary journal article indexes in the health sciences. By the end of this tutorial, you will be familiar with what you will find in PubMed, how to build a search using medical subject headings, how to combine searches using Boolean operators, how to access articles through a university library subscription through the Find It links, and how to contact your librarian for further assistance. What is PubMed? PubMed is the publicly available interface used to search the journal article index called Medline. Medline is one of the most often used journal article indexes in the health sciences. Medline contains over 24 million citations and covers all aspects of the health sciences, including clinical medicine, public health, nursing, and allied health. Coverage goes back to around 1950 and contains citations primarily from scholarly journals. PubMed is a freely available resource, so even after you leave the university, you can continue to search PubMed. But there are a few things to remember. The first is that Medline, like many article indexes and databases, is an abstract database, meaning that it only searches and you will only see the abstracts of the articles and not the full text. It also searches all the literature, regardless of whether or not we have access to it through the University of Minnesota subscriptions. You will use the maroon and gold Find It links to connect to the U of M library catalog to see if we have access to a particular journal article. The best way to access PubMed is through one of the library websites, like the Biomedical Library's website. This way you'll be recognized as being affiliated with the University of Minnesota, which is important if you want to access articles you find in your search. PubMed is relatively simple to search. Keyword searching is the default search in PubMed. PubMed will take the terms you enter in the search box and search for the occurrence of those words in the title, abstract, and subject headings of the 24 million citations that are in the database. Keyword searching can give you many results, many of them not actually relevant to your topic. So why does this happen? PubMed is bringing back any citations that have those words anywhere in the record, regardless of whether or not the article has anything to do with the keywords. To try and make your results set more manageable, you can utilize limits, such as article type, age, sex, language, to help you narrow down your results. To get a more precise search, you can utilize medical subject headings, commonly referred to as mesh headings, to build a search. Since keyword searching is fairly straightforward, this tutorial will focus on building a search using mesh headings. What are medical subject headings or mesh headings exactly? All the 24 million citations in Medline have been indexed with mesh terms. An indexer reads the article and assigns roughly 5 to 20 headings appropriate to the article. These mesh terms describe biomedical concepts, and they act as a controlled vocabulary. Controlled vocabularies help ensure that you're retrieving all articles on a given topic, no matter what terminology is used to describe the term. For example, an indexer might have two articles in front of them. One article uses the term myocardial infarction, and another uses the term heart attack. These are two terms that mean the same thing. The mesh heading of myocardial infarction is assigned to both of these articles, meaning that when you build a search using the mesh heading myocardial infarction, you are ensuring that you're getting all the articles on that concept, regardless of what terminology is used. You are also ensuring that you're getting articles that are actually on the topic of myocardial infarctions or heart attacks, and not just articles where the term was included in the abstract, but not a significant subject of the article itself. Searching can be frustrating, but using a few different strategies while using PubMed can help you with your research. First, take some time to think about exactly what you're looking for. Writing out your search topic as a statement or question can help you with this process. For example, what are the effects of high blood pressure on risk of stroke in middle-aged women? Once you have your search statement or question formed, take that statement and break it down into its smallest components. In this example, our main concepts would be high blood pressure, stroke, women, and middle-aged. Once you have your search divided into its basic components, you'll want to search for a mesh term that corresponds to each component, or recognize when a limit such as sex, age, or article type might be used. Once you have your search divided into terms and limits, use Boolean operators like and or to create your search strategy. The Boolean operator and connects different ideas. If we combine our two search terms, obesity and socioeconomic status, with and, we end up with a set of results that have to include both of our concepts, represented in this diagram as the very center portion where both concepts overlap. Most databases and indexes, including search engines like Google, automatically and all of your search terms together. The Boolean operator or will broaden your concept by connecting similar or synonymous concepts. If we search for obesity or overweight, we will get a set of results where either or both terms appear. Nesting terms is also a great search strategy to use. We can nest terms using parentheses, which act like order of operations in math. The search within the parentheses is conducted first and then combined with the other search terms. For example, if we search for obesity or overweight in parentheses and socioeconomic status, we would get a set of results that were all about socioeconomic status and either overweight or obesity, or possibly both. Let's try a search in PubMed. Here's our example search. We want to find articles on the effect of the Mediterranean diet on blood pressure or cholesterol in elderly men. First, let's pick out the main concepts in the search. Then we'll try to find corresponding mesh headings or use the available limits to construct a search. Our main concepts are Mediterranean diet, blood pressure, cholesterol, men, and age 65 and older. We know that mesh headings describe biomedical concepts. We know that limits can be used to narrow down our result set by sex and age. Knowing that, we will likely search for mesh headings for our three concepts of Mediterranean diet, blood pressure, and cholesterol, and use limits to find articles looking at men age 65 and older. Let's take a moment to write out our search with Boolean operators. It would look like this: Mediterranean diet and blood pressure or cholesterol in parentheses, and men and age 65 and over. Let's start our search of the MESH database for our keywords blood pressure, cholesterol, and Mediterranean diet. From the PubMed homepage, we will find the MESH database under More Resources. You can also find MESH listed on the drop-down menu by the search box at the top of the page. Now that we are in the MESH database, we can start searching for MESH headings to build our search. Let's start with the two concepts that we want to OR together, blood pressure and cholesterol. Since we want to find a MESH heading that corresponds to each of our individual concepts, we need to search each concept separately. So let's begin by entering blood pressure in the search box and clicking Search. The keywords we entered in the search box are searched in the MESH heading database, and any possible relevant results are displayed. In this case, there are a few options, but the second one looks like the one we want to use. Let's take a look at the complete MESH record by clicking on the heading. This is the complete MESH record for the term blood pressure. The heading is listed at the top, along with a brief description or definition of the topic. Following the definition is a list of possible subheadings. Subheadings describe a particular aspect of the subject heading and can be used to help narrow down your results. You do not need to select a subheading, and when you're doing an initial search, you may want to refrain from using a subheading to ensure you're not limiting your result set too much. Scrolling down the page, we see two options listed: Restrict to MESH major topic, and do not include MESH terms found below this term in the MESH hierarchy. The second option of do not include MESH terms found below this term in the hierarchy refers to the tree structure that MESH headings are organized in. You can see our heading of blood pressure listed within the tree structure. Looking at the tree structure, we see that everything listed above our bolded subject heading is a broader concept, so blood pressure falls under hemodynamics. Everything that is indented and falls below our bolded heading is a narrower concept: arterial pressure, venous pressure, etc. Usually when we search with a subject heading, we want to include the heading we are searching for, along with any of the narrower concepts. If we search with blood pressure, it will bring back results that have been indexed with that term or any of the narrower concepts like arterial or venous pressure. If you do not want to include the more narrow concepts, then you can click the Do Not Include MESH terms found below this term in the MESH hierarchy option that was above, and you'll only get results indexed with blood pressure. Once you have determined that you have the correct subject heading, you can start building your search using the PubMed Search Builder on the right-hand side of the screen. All you need to do is select Add to Search Builder and it will appear in the box. Now we can search for the second concept, which is cholesterol, that we want to OR together with blood pressure. Make sure the drop-down menu still says MESH and enter in the keyword and select Search. Let's select the box next to the heading we want to use for cholesterol and change the Boolean operator to OR. Then select Add to Search Builder. Now we can see in the PubMed Search Builder that we have our two terms combined with OR. Let's search for the last concept, Mediterranean diet. Select the Boolean operator and click on the Add to Search Builder. In the Search Builder, you can now see our search strategy. In parentheses, we have blood pressure or cholesterol and Mediterranean diet. We will go ahead and select Search PubMed at this point and add our other two concepts, men over age 65, to our search using the limits. With our search strategy, which you can see at the top of the search box, we get 142 results. We are now going to use the filters along the left-hand side to narrow down to the specific population we are looking for, which is elderly men. By selecting Show Additional Filters, we can see all of the available filter options. Select the two filters we are interested in, sex and ages. Select Show, and they will appear on the list of filters on the left. Once they appear in the filters list, just click on Male and age 65+. Using these limits, we end up with 50 results. In our result list, we get the brief citations. Click on the title to get more detailed information about the citation. This detailed view shows the citation information abstract, which you can use to determine whether or not you want to find and read the entire article. You may also notice the related citation section on the right-hand side of the page, which can be useful during your search process. PubMed uses a word-weighted algorithm to try and provide resources that are close in subject matter to the article you are currently looking at. This article looks like something we want to explore further. Let's try to find the full text of the article. Select the maroon and gold Find It link in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. This will bring you to the Find It page, which will show us our options for accessing this article. The full text option will indicate whether or not we have online access to this title. In this case we do, so you can just select the full text online link. If we do not have online access, you can then choose the Check for Print or Other Electronic Holdings to see if we have access to it in print. If we do not have online or print access, you'll see another option that says Request through Interlibrary Loan. Simply choose this link, sign in with your XSAP 500 information, and we will try to obtain a copy of the article for you, free of charge, from another institution. Did this tutorial leave you with any unanswered questions, or would you like a more in-depth look at PubMed? Contact a librarian. We're here to help you.